Ghostbusters emerged in 1984 during a period when Hollywood increasingly blended genre elements to create mainstream entertainment with broad appeal. Directed by Ivan Reitman, who had previously found success with comedies like Meatballs and Stripes, this production united the comedic talents of former Saturday Night Live performers with a high-concept supernatural premise. The production represented a significant investment for Columbia Pictures, with a budget of approximately $30 million allocated to groundbreaking visual effects, star talent, and location shooting in New York City. Ghostbusters occupies a unique position in cinema history as one of the first major productions to successfully merge comedy with science fiction and supernatural horror elements. This genre hybridization created a template that numerous subsequent movies would attempt to replicate. Set in contemporary New York City, the story follows disgraced academics Dr. Peter Venkman, Dr. Raymond Stantz, and Dr. Egon Spengler, who establish a ghost-catching business after losing their university positions. Their enterprise grows from struggling startup to citywide phenomenon as supernatural occurrences increase throughout Manhattan. When professional cellist Dana Barrett experiences paranormal activity in her apartment, the team discovers an ancient Sumerian deity named Gozer plans to enter our dimension and bring about the apocalypse. Joined by Winston Zeddemore, a hired fourth member, the Ghostbusters must overcome bureaucratic opposition and supernatural forces to save the city from destruction. The mid-1980s context proved perfect timing for the movie, coinciding with both a boom in effects-driven blockbusters and audience interest in paranormal concepts. The production brought together numerous influential comedy writers and performers from the Second City and National Lampoon circles, creating a uniquely collaborative creative environment. This combination of talent, timing, and technical innovation would prove crucial to Ghostbusters' distinctive approach and lasting cultural impact. At first glance, Ghostbusters presents as a straightforward comedic adventure, utilizing supernatural elements, primarily for entertainment value. Its surface characteristics align with an approach that emphasizes humor, spectacle, and broad accessibility. The ghost hunting premise serves mainly as a vehicle for showcasing the comedic talents of its cast, particularly Bill Murray's deadpan wit and the ensemble chemistry of the primary characters. The visual design of the supernatural elements emphasizes memorable, audience-friendly spectacle over authentic cultural representation, from the cartoonish Slimer to the comically absurd Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. These creations clearly prioritize entertainment impact over cultural or religious significance. The production establishes its own pseudo-scientific rules for ghost behavior and capture, creating a self-contained fictional structure that requires no knowledge of actual paranormal beliefs or religious traditions to appreciate. Genre conventions from comedy dominate the narrative structure, with character-based humor driving scenes that could otherwise lean into horror or science fiction. Even potentially frightening elements like possession or apocalyptic threats become opportunities for comedy. The protagonists approach supernatural phenomena with scientific curiosity or sardonic detachment, maintaining the movie's light tone through even the most spectacular encounters. These surface elements collectively indicate an entertainment-driven work focused on broad appeal through universal experiences of friendship, professional struggles, and courage in facing unusual threats, all packaged within an accessible comedic structure. A deeper examination confirms Ghostbusters as an entertainment-driven work. Through its integration of supernatural elements, as primarily atmospheric enhancements, serving comedic and adventure purposes. The movie creates a world where paranormal phenomena function according to internally consistent rules designed to facilitate entertainment value. The ghostly entities, interdimensional gateways, and ancient deities operate according to simplified, audience-friendly mechanics that maximize visual impact and comedic potential while avoiding deeper cultural or religious significance. Character development centers on broadly relatable experiences, unconnected to specific cultural systems. Peter Venkman's journey from self-interested opportunist to genuine hero occurs through universal experiences of romance, friendship, and courage that any audience can recognize regardless of societal context. Similarly, Ray's childlike enthusiasm, Egon's scientific dedication, and Winston's practical adaptation to extraordinary circumstances reflect human qualities found across various contexts. The resolution relies on a pseudo-scientific solution, crossing the proton streams established within the production's internal logic, presenting a conclusion based on the rules of its fictional universe. The supernatural elements could be replaced with different fantastical threats, while preserving the core narrative about outsiders forming a business, gaining public acceptance, and ultimately saving their community. Even the possession of Dana Barrett by Zool and Louis Tully by Vince Clortho serves primarily to create plot complications and visual spectacle. The various ghosts and entities, from the library ghost to Slimer to the terror dogs, function as entertaining obstacles that showcase character dynamics and comedic interactions. This interchangeability demonstrates how the paranormal aspects function as an engaging backdrop for the universal story of underdogs becoming heroes through teamwork and courage. The creative vision behind Ghostbusters stemmed from Dan Aykroyd's interest in paranormal phenomena, combined with a desire to create an entertaining vehicle for comedic talent. Originally conceived as a futuristic concept featuring multiple ghost-busting teams, the project evolved through collaboration with Harold Ramis and Ivan Reitman into a contemporary comedy set in New York City. This evolution demonstrates the creator's focus on accessible entertainment regarding supernatural phenomena. Director Ivan Reitman brought significant influence through his experience balancing comedy with other genre elements. His approach emphasized maintaining comedic tone while delivering convincing special effects. The casting choices reflected this vision, particularly Bill Murray, whose improvisational style and deadpan delivery allowed the production to maintain its comedic core during spectacular effects sequences. Harold Ramis contributed both as a writer and performer, bringing his intellectual comedy sensibilities to the pseudo-scientific concepts that frame the ghost hunting premise. Ghostbusters' unique perspective lies in applying workplace comedy and entrepreneurial narrative to supernatural subject matter. By treating ghost hunting as a business venture, complete with commercial jingles, equipment maintenance, and customer service, the comedy created a fresh approach to paranormal content that emphasized everyday humor. This grounding of extraordinary events in mundane reality created a distinctive tone that set it apart from both horror movies and pure comedies. The intended audience impact focused on entertainment through laughter, thrills, and memorable visual moments. Technical elements served this goal, with visual effects supervisor Richard Edlund creating supernatural spectacles that balanced fright with visual humor. The proton-packed streams, ghost traps, and the Stay-Puft Marshmallow Man delivered memorable imagery while maintaining the movie's comedic tone. The musical elements further supported this focus, with Elmer Bernstein's score balancing suspenseful moments with comedic touches, while the Ray Parker Jr. theme song became an instantly recognizable part of popular culture. The production design created a visual identity through distinctive ghost-busting equipment and the converted firehouse headquarters, all emphasizing fun and accessibility. The costume design maintained this approach, with the tan jumpsuits becoming iconic visual elements that balance practicality with memorable branding. The narrative structure of Ghostbusters follows a progression that emphasizes character comedy, while gradually escalating supernatural elements. This comedy begins with the library ghost encounter, before establishing the academic setting and character dynamics, allowing audience investment in the paranormal concept and the characters before more fantastical elements take center stage. This creates an effective balance between character development and spectacle, with each supernatural encounter growing more elaborate as the story progresses toward its climactic confrontation. The pacing builds both comedic and supernatural elements steadily, introducing the ghost-catching business concept, showing its growth through a montage, and gradually revealing the larger threat of Gozer. The production employs narrative efficiency, using scenes like the Sedgwick Hotel ghost capture to simultaneously advance the plot, develop characters, and establish the rules of the ghost-busting equipment. This efficient storytelling maintains audience engagement through escalating stakes and increasingly spectacular encounters. Character dynamics form the core appeal, with distinct personalities creating natural comedy through their interactions. Peter Venkman provides the sardonic center, approaching extraordinary situations with deadpan humor. Ray Stantz offers childlike enthusiasm, while Egon Spengler delivers deadpan technical exposition. Winston Zeddemore joins midway to provide an everyman perspective. These complementary types create comedic friction, while enabling authentic teamwork during crisis moments. Character arcs follow satisfying progressions that emphasize universal experiences. Venkman evolves from self-serving cynic to committed hero through his growing attraction to Dana Barrett and loyalty to his colleagues. Ray maintains his enthusiastic belief while learning practical business realities. Egon shows subtle humanization, while Winston adapts to paranormal realities with pragmatism. These developments occur through comedic scenarios, maintaining the movie's light tone while providing satisfying character growth. The comedy balances supernatural elements with human humor, using dialogue and performance to keep the story accessible despite spectacular events. The script provides quotable lines that emerge from character personalities, creating memorable moments amid paranormal chaos. Physical comedy grounds the supernatural elements in accessible humor, reinforcing the production's focus on entertainment through character-driven situations. This character-focused approach allows the audience to connect with the story regardless of their belief in paranormal phenomena. 3 key story threads demonstrate how Ghostbusters crafts an entertaining narrative that incorporates supernatural elements while focusing on broad experiences and widely appealing comedy. The first significant thread follows the establishment and growth of the ghost-busting business, presenting an entrepreneurial story with supernatural decoration. This narrative line begins with the protagonist's university dismissal, continues through their purchase of the firehouse headquarters, and culminates in their commercial success captured in the montage sequence. The scenes showing their television commercial, Janine fielding increasing calls, and media coverage of their growing fame present a classic small business success story. The bureaucratic opposition from Walter Peck adds a common conflict about government regulation. This thread connects with audiences through widely relatable experiences of professional setbacks, risking a new venture, and achieving vindication through success. The supernatural elements provide unique obstacles, but the core story about professional underdogs succeeding demonstrates how paranormal aspects serve primarily as entertaining enhancement to a widespread narrative. The second key thread explores the romantic connection between Peter Venkman and Dana Barrett, using possession as a comedic complication in a classic romantic pursuit. This thread begins with Venkman's self-interested initial investigation, develops through his genuine concern when Dana becomes possessed by Zool, and culminates in their reunion after the final battle. The possession element creates unique comedic scenarios, particularly when Venkman attempts to connect with Dana as the gatekeeper. The parallel possession of Louis Tully by Vince Clortho, the Keymaster, adds complementary comedy. Venkman's growing concern for Dana represents a general emotional journey from self-interest to authentic care, made entertaining through supernatural complications. The third key thread focuses on team dynamics among the Ghostbusters, showing how their complementary skills create both comedy and eventual heroism. Key moments include the chaotic ballroom scene with flying tables and chandelier, destruction, and their ultimate choice to risk everything by crossing the proton streams, despite the warnings of total protonic reversal. The addition of Winston introduces fresh possibilities while providing an audience surrogate. The car conversation where Winston and Ray discuss biblical apocalypse creates comedy from contrasting reactions to extraordinary circumstances. The climactic battle shows their growth as a coordinated team making sacrificial choices. This thread connects through archetypal experiences of workplace relationships and friendship developed through shared challenges. Throughout these threads, supernatural elements create memorable scenarios, while the core narrative follows accessible patterns focused on broad experiences. This balance shows how Ghostbusters employs fantastical elements to enhance entertainment value while maintaining focus on relatable story aspects. Ghostbusters presents a philosophical approach that playfully combines scientific rationalism with openness to supernatural possibilities. The production creates a world where paranormal phenomena exist but can be studied, measured, and managed through technology and scientific approaches. This makes the paranormal accessible to both skeptical and believing audiences by framing extraordinary phenomena through familiar scientific language and technological solutions. The production presents institutional authority with gentle satire. Academic settings appear as flawed but not corrupt, with the university dean dismissing the protagonist for credibility concerns. Government agencies receive similar treatment, with the mayor shown making practical decisions when faced with supernatural crisis, balancing political considerations with the city's well-being. Religious institutions barely appear, with an archbishop who remains silent during key moments, suggesting respectful distance from religious commentary. The supernatural mythology incorporates elements from various traditions, creating an eclectic mix that emphasizes entertainment over cultural accuracy. References to Sumerian deities, biblical apocalypse, and standard ghost lore blend into a generalized system designed for accessibility. Egon's scientific explanations of paranormal phenomena during key plot moments provide a rationalist perspective that grounds the supernatural elements. Different audience perspectives can engage with Ghostbusters based on their own interests. Viewers focused on scientific concepts can appreciate the pseudoscientific explanations. Those interested in supernatural concepts can connect with the movie's acknowledgement of forces beyond normal understanding. Comedy enthusiasts can focus on character interactions and situational humor. This multifaceted approach contributes to the production's broad appeal across different demographic groups. Ghostbusters avoids making definitive claims about spiritual truth, creating an entertaining space where various perspectives coexist. Ghostbusters received positive critical reception upon its release in June 1984, with reviewers praising its blend of comedy with special effects. Critics appreciated Bill Murray's comedic performance and its balance of humor with engaging supernatural elements. Some reviewers noted structural inconsistencies, but agreed that the entertainment value compensated for any narrative weaknesses. The comedy achieved significant commercial success, becoming the second highest grossing production of 1984, behind only Beverly Hills Cop. This demonstrated the strong audience connection with its accessible blend of comedy and supernatural adventure. Ghostbusters earned 2 Academy Award nominations for visual effects and original song. The American Film Institute later recognized its cultural significance by including it in several lists of notable American movies. Ghostbusters established a cultural footprint beyond its initial release, spawning an animated series, video games, comic books, and movie sequels. The Ghost logo, proton packs, and merchandise featuring Ghostbusters imagery became recognizable symbols. The quotable dialogue entered popular culture, with lines like, "Who you gonna call?" becoming widely recognized phrases. The movie continues to appear on Best Comedy Films lists decades after its release. Over time, appreciation for Ghostbusters has grown, with many regarding it as a defining comedy of 1980s American cinema. Its influence extends to filmmaking approaches that combine genres, practical effects with comedy, and team dynamics in adventure narratives. Ghostbusters offers an excellent example of an entertainment-driven work that successfully balances comedy, adventure, and supernatural elements to create a broadly appealing experience. The production creates a memorable structure where paranormal phenomena serve as vehicles for humor and spectacle, while character relationships and widespread experiences provide the emotional core. Through its entrepreneurial narrative, romantic complications, and team dynamics, it connects with audiences through widely relatable situations enhanced by entertaining supernatural elements. The creative vision behind this comedy demonstrates how technical innovation can serve comedic purposes, with groundbreaking visual effects enhancing the human elements. The characters have endured in popular culture because they represent accessible personality types, facing extraordinary circumstances with relatable reactions ranging from scientific curiosity to sardonic detachment. Its approach to supernatural content creates an inclusive space where various belief perspectives can enjoy the story, requiring no specific cultural understanding. The lasting impact of Ghostbusters stems from its prioritization of entertainment value and broad accessibility. By creating memorable visual elements, quotable dialogue, and distinctive characters, the movie established itself as a significant and enduring addition to American comedy. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. Also, check out our previous episodes. We'll see you next time.